Hey, Ron Howe here with your fishing report for the California Delta. It's the month of May, COVID 2020. A lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of our friends that fish out there. A lot of guys part of the RV Bass team, including myself, have been on the water. So I'm going to kind of give you a kind of a summary of what's going on out there. Late spring, it is still spring. It's very warm now, like summer. We do have a front coming over the next couple days. It's actually about 85 degrees, balmy and overcast. I wish I was on the Delta today, Friday. But giving you an update. So a lot of fish are in post-spawn. They're moving away from the bank and they're going out to current-oriented areas. If you have colder mornings, a slower popping frog or a walking bait like the I'm a Little Stick or a popper like the I'm a Finesse popper are going to get some bites for you because the fish are really just post-spawn whiffy. The other thing is floating worms or wacky rig stick baits. No nail, no weight. Throw them out there on the edge of those grass patches that are out towards the current. So if you see a weed line going straight and it comes outward, sticks out, and that's where that current's hitting, their fish are schooling up and feeding. And there'll be a lot of smaller fish, 2.5, 3 pound bucks, but they're eating. It's fun. They're hot. There's a flip bite out there. Some of the big females have moved off the bank, recovered, came back into the bank, and now they're looking for shade. It's hot, it's high sun, they want to get underneath that cover and, flipping your 1.5 to 1 3/4 and 2 ounce range tungsten, with a Berkeley Pit Boss or any of those Berkeley craw baits are going to work really good right now. Watermelon reds, anything candy colored, a lot of bluegill moving around, right? So things with purple in them are going to work really well. So there's definitely a flip bite going. There is some current fish, like I said. There's some deeper ones out on drop shots, and there's some up there on that floating type worm or wacky rig stick bait. Definitely have that pausing if you're throwing topwater, right? Because these fish are in post spawn, and if you're throwing topwater, you got to kind of be patient, and they'll whiff a couple times. And definitely have a follow-up bait, because right now where that fish whiffs, a lot of them, there's a couple fish with them, and you throw in that follow-up bait, and you may not catch the one you missed, but you'll definitely catch the other fish that are schooled up with it. Fluke style baits are going to work real good right now, and shad colors or bubblegum. That's some other stuff that's going on right there. There is a popping frog bite. The buzz bait should start turning on here. I know some guys are catching them on it, not talking about it, but there's definitely that Chopo and Whopper Plopper type bite beginning. Just work it real slow right now. Don't burn it so fast. You kind of see how the fish want it that day. One day they might want it a little faster, another day a little slower. There's definitely some wake bait bites going on out there. It's been windy a lot, so there's definitely been a spinner bait bite, a crankbait bite. Get out on the rock walls where there's current and go fish that current and you'll catch fish. We're on a full moon right now. There is still some fish spawning, so you can definitely go out there and sight fish on the lower tides. And then the last thing I want to leave you with is a couple tips, right? One is make sure you got Boat US. If you don't have a membership for them, go do it. It's for your own safety. A couple weeks ago, my buddy Bob, his boat broke down. He called me. I was already off the water, leaving, going home, and they were stuck several miles from a launch ramp. He didn't own Boat US, so the cost was going to be $1,200 to $1,500 to tow his boat in. The membership guy is all inclusive, is like $100 and something, so it's worth the money. I have no skin in the game other than want you to get home safely to your family. So go get your Boat US membership. Don't lag. They'll tow you for free. Save you thousands of dollars and a lot of headache and get home safe, right? So that's one thing. And then the other thing is for you guys that fish the North Delta up there and you're traveling through that area by the lock and you're heading up into Snodgrass up there or into Lost Slough, there's something new out there. If you're heading up on the right side before it splits left or right, you got the little weed patch down the middle with a log sticking up, and you got a weed patch on the right with a log sticking up. Right somewhere real close to that weed patch on the right that sticks out like a little point, before you head in the 5 zone, about 6-7 foot of water on a mid-low tide. I hit something the other day that stopped that boat in its tracks. Now, luckily, I was just getting on plane, and pretty much only the boat moved about 5 feet. But let me just tell you, it folded that Mercury Fury prop, 2 of the blades in half. Okay, it bent my skeg and it had blue and white paint on it. So there's a new obstruction as you're heading up to make that, you're going to go to the right and you can see the 5 zone on your left on that right-hand trough between those 2 weed patches and those 2 logs, right in that little middle of that channel, right in the middle, like I said, 6-7 feet deep. There's something bad out there, guys, and I don't want you to hit it, so be safe. choose the other side, idle into there like you're supposed to, and be safe and have your motor trimmed up. The waters are lower this year than they've been in a long time because there's no runoff coming from the mountains. It's not that we're seeing crazy or low tides. We just don't have the incoming water, folks, that we've had the last several years. The Delta's at it's at full, almost late summer level at the end of spring. So be safe out there. Get your boat US membership. Try to avoid any hazards you can. Inform others when you find them out there because numerous ones are popping up everywhere. And go catch some fish. We hope this report helps you for the California Delta this weekend. Guys, get to the ramps early and expect a busy afternoon because the skiers, the jet skiers, and the pleasure boats, when it's warm like this, it's their time to play now too, guys. So be safe out there, man. Have a good one.